10 interesting facts about Japan you probably don't know. 10. Eating raw horse meat is perfectly normal in Japan. Before you dismiss the idea of trying sushi, know that it's much healthier than pork and beef, and is less prone to E. coli contamination. It is very high in protein yet low in calories, and is rich in linoleic acid. Aside from that, eating horse meat may possibly prolong your life. A demographic statistics published in 2013 show that the residents of the Nagano prefecture had the highest life expectancy in Japan. 80.88 years for men and 87.18 for women. Their secret? Eating horse meat. 9. 1,500 earthquakes hit Japan every year. Though Japan is a very beautiful country, it is also quite deadly. Not because of its crime rate, it's actually one of the safest countries in the world, but primarily because it's one of the world's most earthquake-prone areas. It experiences 1,500 earthquakes every year. Thankfully, most of these quakes are just tremors. Japan is no stranger to devastating earthquakes. It has experienced several catastrophic quakes in the past that has led to the destruction of billions of dollars worth of properties and the death of thousands of people. 8. Japan is home to the world's craziest vending machines. The Japanese people love vending machines. In fact, there are around 5.52 million of them scattered throughout the country. Over the years, these machines have greatly evolved from being practically convenient to extremely bizarre. In most countries, vending machines typically sell snacks like chips, gums, candies, sodas, and chocolates. However, the Japanese seem to have combined the practicality of vending machines with their love for innovation and bizarre everything. 7. Slurping when eating soups or noodles is perfectly normal in Japan. In the Western world, people are expected to eat their food without making any unnecessary noises. Creating sounds like slurping when eating soups or noodles is considered inappropriate and rude. However, in Japanese society, it is the complete opposite. Slurping is perfectly normal and acceptable, even when done in public. In fact, slurping is highly encouraged. 6. Baseball is very popular in Japan. Sumo might be the national sport of Japan, but baseball is the most loved and most popular. Known as yakai in Japanese, baseball was introduced to Japan by an American teacher named Horace Wilson. In 1873, under the supervision of Mr. Wilson, the first baseball game in Japanese history was played at the Tokyo University. Back then it was known as Keisei Gakko. Since then, yakai has become Japan's most loved team sport. 5. Japan has a very high suicide rate. Japan is a wealthy nation with a very interesting history and colorful culture. It's a visually stunning country that is home to the most innovative, highly disciplined, hard-working, successful people around. However, one dark aspect of Japanese society that many people from the West don't know is that it has a very high suicide rate. More than 30,000 Japanese men and women off themselves every year. With this rate, it is estimated that 24.4 out of 100,000 Japanese citizens are likely to kill themselves. Suicide has become a major issue in Japan. In fact, it has become one of the primary causes of death in women aged 15-34 and men aged 20-44. 4. Families in Japan use the same water for bathing. For the Japanese, taking a bath is not only about cleansing the body. It's also an effective way to relax the mind, the body, and the spirit. This is the reason why most Japanese take hot baths during the evening and go to hot springs or onsens regularly. Unlike in the Western world, Japanese families use the same water for bathing, and no, they don't take baths simultaneously. The father goes first, followed by the mother, and then the children. 3. Many streets in Japan don't have names. Yes, You read that right. Many streets in Japan don't have names. So how do the Japanese locate certain areas if their streets are nameless? Well, they use a peculiar kind of addressing system that uses block numbers instead of street names. Blocks in Japan are given unique numbers, and these numbers serve as the address. The spaces between these blocks, the streets, are left unnamed. So typically, people in Japan say, I live in block 2 or I work in block 13 instead of saying I'm on Crocodile Street or my house is at Banana Avenue. 2. Male adult adoption is common in Japan. Why is this so? There are 2 reasons why male adult adoption is normal and quite popular in Japan. First, adult men are adopted for the sake of carrying on the family's name. Japan, like many countries around the world, is a patriarchal society, and family names or surnames are passed through male children. Couples who only have female children are likely to consider adopting adult males just so their family names don't disappear. Second, adult men are adopted for the sake of a family's business. This reason is quite common in many wealthy Japanese families who own large companies. 1. Japan is the land of kinky sex. When it comes to sex, the Japanese are very open-minded. Some behaviors or acts that are considered taboo in the Western world are accepted and practiced by many Japanese people. One perfect example of this is hentai mangas and animes which depict intercourse between humans, monsters, and even tentacles. Hentai can be easily bought in bookstores and convenience stores throughout the country.